benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. Core Cares, proudly serving our community.
Service Master of Pier is your go-to service experts for a wide variety of cleaning needs. Since 2003, we have developed the most effective methods and products to service virtually every type of industry. We're known for our exceptional carpet and upholstery cleaning, but did you know we also offer cleaning of all types of flooring, along with providing fire and water restoration, commercial cleaning, janitorial services, and construction cleanup. Service Master of Pier is a proud sponsor of TF Riggs Governors and Lady Govs, as well as Stanley County Buffaloes and Lady Buffs activities.
That moment when you realize your furnace is stone cold busted. We're talking a real put on every sweater you own, I can't feel my feet, penguin predicament. But fear not, there's an expert for that.
Let your local heating experts at Pites Service Experts keep you warm with $50 off any furnace repair.
Like it toasty? There's an expert for that.
Call Pites Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
Now's your chance for a great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the part you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
Being a part of a community means sharing the history and future of the people all around you. For 115 years, First Fidelity Bank has been doing just that, helping you get the most out of life by providing the services and tools you need, the conveniences and technology you want, and the friendly faces you expect. So you get everything you need right here in the place you call home. Now and for many years to come. First Fidelity Bank.
Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Do you want to join one of the oldest established organizations in Fort Pierre? Perhaps you are more interested in protecting the future. Whatever your position, the Fort Pierre Volunteer Fire Department is for you. We are responsible for fire protection in Fort Pierre and Stanley County. Become part of this amazing team by stopping down at the fire hall and discussing enrollment. We are not just limited to adults, as we have a new cadet program for students ages 14 to 18. For more information, click on our banner ad on the homepage. From everyone at the fire hall, go Buffs!
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Their annual matchup against Potter County, and then Mount Vernon Plankington. Matchups at home before the Christmas break. So the Rustlers will get 20% of their season in the first 10 days of the year. And then, of course, the moratorium, the Christmas holiday, they'll be back in action at the Basketball Classic in Madison, America's hometown basketball classic. That will be played on January 4th. But Stanley County, they have 5 games upcoming. They'll play a lot of basketball before Christmas.
Well, they've got tonight, obviously, and then they're taking on White River 2 days from today, and then winter on the 17th. Then they are off, but a very, very packed January month for Stanley County, especially this Lady Buffs team. They've got 11 games in the month of January. And I did want to ask you a question about that front-loaded Miller schedule. Teams that play heavy front-end schedules seem to fare well later on in the season because they're getting a lot of that experience. They're shaking off a lot of that rust, and they're figuring out who they are as a team very early on in the season.
I think one thing that happens, first of all, when you start talking about weather, most of the time, most of our bad weather where games get moved around doesn't happen in December. It happens in January and February. So a lot of athletic directors are trying to get as many games in as you can. The other part of it is a lot of coaches say, we don't want to play 3 games in the week of February. We want to be 2 games in the week at the most. But you still got to get your games. You got to get your seeding points. The other part of it is, and it's going to be a problem that isn't going to be cured anytime soon, it's going to be getting officials lined up and having officials, and that is a problem, has been a problem, will continue to be a problem. And so you kind of just got to be able to get everything lined up. But I've talked to a lot of athletic directors saying, boy, it's nice to get these games in December. They're in the books, they're out of the way. Most of the time in December, as we said, we've had Christmas storms before, but we really haven't lost a lot of games in December, but we sure have in January.
Well, it was funny walking into Parkview tonight. They had their temperature gauge up on the big screen out front. It was a balmy 13 degrees with a big sun logo right next to it. I thought that was quite ironic on a nice brisk night here tonight. But you're right. We're kind of just trying to get through the tough part, get as many games as we can on the front end, and then just deal with it as we can on the back end.
And that is our Keys to Success segment brought to you by the folks at May Adam. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. We'll be back with starting lineups on KPLO.
May Adam.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
What if we said a bank isn't a place to lock up money? It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if, a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
Follows. One guard will be Morgan Kolda, a 5'4 senior. Jolie Palmer is the other guard. She is a junior at 5'6. Big front line for the Rustlers. Paige Wordle, a 5'9 junior, one forward. Kate Lickney, a 5'10 junior. She is the other forward. The starting center for the Rustlers is Alea Schlechter. She is a 5'10 senior. Kolda and Palmer the guards. Wordle and Lickney the forwards. Schlechter at center for the Miller Rustlers, who get their season underway under head coach Eric Norden. For the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes, they will start at one guard. Cameron Norman, a 5'5 senior. Kiera Briggs, a 5'3 senior, is the other guard. They have a good-sized front line as well. Kason McGee, a 5'9 senior. Jerea Walker, a 5'8 sophomore. And Brecken Hubner, a 6'2 junior for the Lady Buffaloes. Stanley County with Norman and Briggs the guard, McGee and Walker the forwards. Hubner at center. The Lady Buffaloes of Stanley County enter the matchup tonight with an overall record of 1-0. Their head coach is Keely Graceland. Finally, in our pregame interviews, our pregame show, the announcement of our game officials from the Office of Attorney General and their Division of Consumer Protection. Our game officials tonight are Dave Burnett, Jim Fugate, and DJ Rush. The announcement of our game officials from the Office of Attorney General and their Division of Consumer Protection. This is the pregame brought to you by Bank West Insurance. Tip off next on KPLO.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierce, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
Graham Tire of Pierre is your premier hometown shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at grahamtire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
They have formed a legion of multi-perils, bent on the destruction of your hard work. Your fields are under constant attack, but the team at Kent Clark Insurance stands by your side in this war. Kent Clark Insurance will give you peace of mind knowing you're covered and your claim will be processed quickly. So protect your hard work. Call Kent Clark Insurance in Wessington at 458-2281. Equal Opportunity Provider.
As a cooperative, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union is owned by our members. Once a member, always a member, even if you move out of the area. Learn about our share certificate specials at www.dakotaplainsfcu.com or stop by and visit with us on North Garfield at the Northridge Plaza. Competitive loan rates, including home loans, complete with a convenient drive-through lane. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Miller Rexall Drug is an independent, community-owned Health Mart pharmacy. Pharmacists Trent and Travis care about their customers and provide fast, friendly, and professional pharmacy services to help you get and stay well. Medicare and all major insurance is accepted, and free delivery or mail service of prescriptions is available, along with price matching. Check out the old-fashioned soda fountain and gift card mall, Hallmark cards, wine department, great gift selection, toy and dollar sections, photo machine, and more. Miller Rexall Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety. KPLO 94.5 Reliance Chamberlain, 100.5 Pier Fort Pier. Slow the drive, arrive alive.
Our opening tip-off is brought to you by Riverview Chevrolet, Bobcat, Sylvan Boats, Mercury Motors, and Kohler Home Generators in Oklahoma. Right now, you can shop the newest family member in Chamberlain, Riverview Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. It is the Riverview family for the best brands. Get to know them at riverviewfamily.com. John Neff back at DRG Media Group World Headquarters. Justin Coward alongside, and I'm Darren Boyle. The officials are ready. Players are ready, and it's time for high school basketball here tonight. The tip-off, Stanley County in the home whites, the Rustlers in their road greens, as it will be Brecken Hubner and Kate Lichty to jump center, and the tip is controlled by Miller. The Rustlers with it as they work with it out front. Selector controlling the tip at the point as they move the basketball to the wing left side. With a little bit of a dribble, Jolie Palmer will move it out front. Stanley County stayed in a man-to-man about all night against Chamberlain on Tuesday and did very well. This time Morgan Kolda takes the rock to the rack and scores the two. And that was one thing that you did not see Chamberlain. They were not able to do a lot, was get the ball to the inside, but they did there with a quick move to the inside. The foul on Kason McGee will be her first. And just like that, Miller scores in their opening possession and takes an early lead. Kolda with a chance for the end one, and it is offline and no good. Rebound Miller, though. Rustlers with a second chance opportunity. Palmer as they go to the corner. This is Kolda back out front and around the horn. Schlechter, Palmer, nice feet inside, running to the rim is Paige Wordle. Shot is no good. Another offensive rebound, Miller, and a second chance for them. Schlechter down the left side of the lane. Nowhere to go as they kick it out to Kolda. Kolda again working against Kason McGee. Stanley County will stay in that man-to-man. It is 2-0. The lead belongs to Miller. Their first possession of the ballgame. Nice up and under for Kolda. She'll rock and fire. Shot is no good. Rebound controlled eventually by Miller. Quick jumper there by Palmer won't go. And the rebound is finally controlled by Stanley County. And a minute into the contest, they get their first possession of the ballgame.
Tell you, size advantage there for Stanley County underneath with Hubner on Lichty. About a 4 or 5 inch difference, but Lichty holding her own, showing off some very impressive physicality under the hoop here early.
And Stanley County sees ball pressure, and the Rustlers knock the basketball out of bounds. Stanley County will inbound it, though. It's Norman trying to feed inside Hubner. Ball is tipped and turned over. First for Stanley County, and here comes Miller in a hurry. Kolda on the move. Kolda to the rack. Shot is no good, and she traveled. Rustlers with the turnover. Kolda got herself in a little bit of trouble as she tried to split a double team and get to the rim. We will see that full court pressure, 1-2-2 type trapping pressure that will be used by the Rustlers here, but Stanley County handles it well as they get it across court. Here's Kiera Briggs left side. She'll drive, leaves it for Hubner. Shot is off glass and too strong, no good. Rebound battled for. Miller will come out of there with it as Wordle will push it up the sideline. Now Schlechter in the lane. Good position defense there. Defensively for Stanley County, Jerea Walker got a hand in there and will force the tie-up. The jump ball will give it to Stanley County on the alternating possession.
Miller's going to be applying a lot of pressure here on Stanley County, as you mentioned. I'll be interested to see how they can get the ball up the court. Miller very, very technical in what they do on defense as they're fighting after it here at midcourt.
They force another Stanley County turnover as the Rustlers will work the other way, but Stanley County hanging tough with some good man-to-man of their own. Now Palmer will get away to the corner, a three. That is up and offline, no good from Kate Lichty, but another offensive rebound by Miller. That is 4 of them already in this opening quarter. And now working to the rim was Lichty, and a foul is going to be called on Stanley County. I think we'll see Miller at the free throw line once again.
They are so active on their offensive end, getting after these rebounds, really doing a good job boxing out. As we mentioned, size favors Stanley County, but Miller playing tough there in the paint.
Brecken Hubner with her first personal foul, second team foul of the quarter for Stanley County. The free throw by Kate Lichty is up, and it is no good. And we will see we'd see our first substitution of the ball game. Grayson Wordle, 5'7" junior, will check into the contest as Morgan Colda will check out for a moment. Second free throw up and good. Miller 1 of 3 from the line to start. And they have themselves a 3-point advantage. As again, substitutions. Madeline Saenga checks into the lineup for the Rustlers. Again, working against that trapping pressure. Stanley County with it. A dangerous cross-court pass. It's tipped and stolen. Wordle with the steal down low. Shot is up and no good. That was Paige Wordle. Grayson Wordle made the defensive play.
This is going to be tough for Stanley County all night, trying to break through this press. It's a full court press, and Miller does such a good job being so active and quick. As we saw another pick-off there on that pass. It's going to be an issue here tonight for the Lady Bucks.
Now, and already 3 turnovers for Stanley County. And that was one thing that Keely Braceman was a little bit concerned about. They had 19 turnovers in a win over Chamberlain. And with the pace of that ball game, she would take it. And I think if they wound up with 20 turnovers tonight, knowing that this was going to be more of an up-and-down affair, she probably would take that as well. But Miller is, they're forcing a lot more turnovers than Stanley County is here in the early going.
Coaches will take a win no matter what the stat line looks like.
Stanley County, though, will force a Miller turnover, though, as Grayson Wordle loses the basketball out of bounds for the Rustlers' second turnover. It is a 3-0 score. So far, Stanley County have just 2 looks at the basket, as again, they'll work against that full court pressure. Norman will go to the center of the floor. McGee and a whistle and a foul. And that is on Paige Wordle. And if you're a team like Stanley County, shorten up the passing lanes, try to, force Miller into maybe trying to do a little bit too much defensively and get themselves in foul trouble. If they do that, then they can't press, and that is one way to negate that. Otherwise, you better just take care of the basketball, and that's going to be the goal for Stanley County, I think, as we work through this game further.
Good trap down here on the far side.
McGee was, Briggs was trapped, and then the Rustlers will get the turnover as Morgan Colda, who was out for a moment, is back into the ball game. Was part of that defensive play. That's 4 turnovers now for Stanley County. The Rustlers will have it once again. Credit Stanley County's defense, though, for doing what they have done, which is kept Miller off the scoreboard. It is just 3-0 with 5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter.
And a great block there by Jerea Walker, right there, point-blank range at the hoop, and she used her size to elevate. Moving the ball up the floor real quick, Darren, is I'd like to see Stanley County with more forward passes, positive passes. Every time they're turning around, passing it backwards, it's leading to a turnover.
Well, they look for the safest pass first, and you're exactly right. They move it back, and they're just resetting things, and that allows Miller's defense to be able to change their angles of defense as well, so they can just set up another trap. You've got to pass it ahead to the center of the floor and then bounce it to the outside, and that will be the goal for them. Here's a nice pass from Miller inside Madeline Saenga, did not finish at the rim. Rebound Stanley County, and then a foul is going to be called on the Rustlers, and that will be on Madeline Sayenga. That will be her first personal foul. Both teams with 3 team fouls as we work to the 5-foul bonus here in this opening quarter.
There for Sayenga, I think she found herself so open at the rim, she almost couldn't believe it.
That time, Stanley County passed forward. They get it across the time stripe. Then Kason McGee loses the basketball as Morgan Colda will steal the basketball away. Another turnover, Stanley County. Here comes Miller, but it is a 3-0 lead for the Rustlers. Inside with a nice pass going to the rim, and Kaylin Anderberg. Shot won't go there. And the rebound is pulled down by Stanley County. The Lady Buffaloes will try to force the issue as Norman crosses the time stripe. McGee trying to bounce pass out front, and it's stolen away by Morgan Colda, and another breakaway, and the layup good.
You mentioned this earlier, Darren. Looks like we're going to have a official's timeout to tie a shoe, but I think and we will get the timeout here on the court here from Keely Braceland as well. But real quick before we head to break, I think it's important here that it is only 5-0, and Stanley County's defense has been playing incredibly well here against a Miller offense that's really aggressive and taking the ball away and pushing it up the court very quickly.
An Tegra timeout. Acres ahead maximizes your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Let's break for 30 seconds on KPLO.
Hello. Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
.426 remains in the opening quarter. 5-0 is our score. Stanley County still looking for their first points of the contest, but as Justin said earlier, the Lady Buffaloes already committed 5 turnovers, working for the first time this season against live full-court pressure that has been downright stingy on the part of the Rustlers. And they have been able to hold Miller down to just those 5 points. But Stanley County just, by my memory, just 2 shots at the basket so far in this opening quarter. As Casey McGee will launch a 3. That one is up short. And the ball will go over to the Rustlers.
One thing I did like there from Kira Briggs, bringing the ball up the floor, was trying to look for contact. If they're going to press you like this, trying to get physical and draw some fouls. And as you mentioned earlier here in the first quarter, that's going to take away the press pretty quickly.
You got to be able to keep it to the center of the floor, going to the sidelines, especially at half court, is where the traps are going to come, and the defense is going to try to push you in that direction. Here is Miller as they work inside. Sayenga high post, losing the basketball. Diving is Briggs. She tries to keep the basketball alive and cannot. Miller will remain with it, although the shot clock does wind up being reset. So the Rustlers have a full allotment to work. Here is Miller slipping on the floor there with one of the Rustler players down low. It's Colda. She'll drive, and she's going to be called for an offensive foul. Big-time collision underneath the basket with Cameron Norman, and Colda will pick up her first personal foul. It will be the 4th team foul against Miller, And Stanley County will be in the bonus for the remainder of this opening quarter. And again, more substitutions as Miller again will go to their bench as Kaylin Anderberg will check back in. And now another foul as Anderberg reaches out. Didn't get the block, but a reach out there just kind of grabbed the Stanley County player as she floated on by. And we're going to see free throws. And as you mentioned, as Stanley County has went through this quarter, they are handling the pressure a little bit better. Addie Deal into the contest. She'll get a pair of free throws here, trying to put Stanley County on the board with 3:34 remaining in quarter number 1.
And that was exactly what we were talking about that Addie Deal just did right there. She's going north and south, not east and west, and she went right into the body, drew the foul, and got to the line.
Rhea Walker will check in. Kason McGee will check out. The free throw by Deal is up no good. Addie will get ready for the second free throw attempt, and it is good.
Deal's a great young player, great volleyball player as well. Going to be fun to watch her kind of blossom into the player she's expected to be over the next couple of years.
5-1, Miller leading. We're working to the 3:20 mark remaining in the opening quarter. Stanley County still in that man-to-man defense, and here a whistle and a hold out front, and that is going to be on Austin Norman, the 5'7" sophomore who just entered the contest. Her first personal foul. Stanley County just commits team foul number 4 of the quarter.
Very impressed with Miller's ability to pass so frequently and so consistently well. They move the ball almost without fail.
And you've got a 5'10 player in Alea Schlechter running the point, and that is just a piece of flexibility that a lot of other teams just do not have, and it's going to cause matchup nightmares once they figure it out. Here's Schlechter, who got away with a walk inside. A wild left-handed shot is no good, and the rebound pulled down by Stanley County. Here is Deal in a hurry as she pushes across half court. Austin Norman at the point, working to Miller as they get into the half-court defense. They play a man-to-man as well. Here's a pass out front to this tip. Jolie Palmer on the move to the rim. Shot is no good, and the rebound pulled down by Stanley County. Kiara Briggs, that's Journey Schnee that makes the defensive play. And Miller, just like that, they get into that trapping defense as they work it across half court. Now we'll settle back into a man-and-man. Schnee, Deal on the left side of the key with the dribble. They give it up. Walker on the elbow extended. Back now to Deal. She'll try to drive. Left open. She'll stop and pop. It's off the back iron and no good. She'll chase down her own rebound. Players on the deck. No foul called, and Miller will head the other way.
Can easily see the pace picking up here. It's clear that Keely Braceland got into Addie Deal's ear while she was on the bench and told her she wanted this to pick up a little bit more momentum, a little bit more urgency from the Lady Buffs.
Here's Jolie Palmer down the lane. Shot taken there. That is too strong, no good. Palmer made an athletic play with the back tap, but it winds up in the hands of a Stanley County player. And now the Lady Buffaloes will work it into their front court. Inside of 2 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. 5-1 is our score. Here is Schnee on the wing left side. Journey with the basketball. Back to the top. Jerea Walker is through her hands and out of bounds. And that's turnover number 6. But as you break it down, those 5 turnovers, Justin, were in the first 3 minutes of this ball game. Stanley County has slowly kind of figured things out as far as handling the ball pressure that Miller is providing tonight. And doing a little bit better job.
Well, we talked about it in the pregame. This is only the second game of the year for Stanley County, Miller's first action of the season, so it's a feeling out process, and I'm not surprised to see things taking a little bit of time to get going.
Here's Alea Schlechter for Miller. On the right side, they will overload, try to lob down low, but an errant pass, but the Rustlers will keep possession. Back out front, it comes. 15 on the shot clock. Schlechter. To the wing now, Jolie Palmer. She'll get away from a defender. Drive and kick. An open look for Pugh. The long jumper is up, no good. Offensive rebound. That is Grayson Wordle. That putback won't go. Stanley County will clear the board. Miller smartly with a double team to stop the basketball and slow the pace of Stanley County's attack. The Deal will bring it across half court. Inside, this is Kaysen McGee, the up and under. Shot is up, no good. And the ball will go out of bounds. It will belong to Stanley County.
Thought we might get a call there underneath. A lot of contact, but the officials have been letting him play, which I think is a good thing to do. You don't want to get into a bogged down whistle fest. And, Stanley County only trailing by 4 might want to consider themselves lucky. Miller must feel like they've got a lid on their basket.
47 seconds remain in the quarter. Here is a Deal 3 that is up, no good. Kaysen McGee will check down the offensive rebound. Now they go down low. It is Deal again. She'll try the reverse. This time she'll get fouls as she tried to create some offense there. I believe it will be Madeline Saenga who will be whistled for the personal, and it will be her second. And just like you mentioned a couple moments ago, Addie Deal comes into the ball game off the bench, the 5'7" freshman. And if anything else, she has provided some speed to this Stanley County game.
Looks like she was sitting on the bench watching things unfold, and finally when she got in, she said, I'm going to take things into my own hands and just try to pick up the pace and turn up the notch a little bit.
Shooting 2 free throws this time. The first one is up, no good. Checking back in Morgan Kolda for Miller as the Rustlers get set to try Addie Deal tries to take the second free throw attempt. I'm looking for this number 44 for Miller. It's not on the roster. I double-checked. And anyway, we'll clean that up next time we see them after the first of the year. Second free throw is no good by Deal, and now Miller working with the basketball. They're going to lose it. Well, it's tipped into their backcourt. I thought it was going to be an over and back violation, but apparently the officials say Stanley County touched it last. Shot clock with about a 2-second differential as Miller will go to the rim. Wild reverse layup try is no good. Rebound to Alea Schlechter, and then Alea on the move is held, and she's going to get free throws with 9 seconds remaining in the quarter. The foul on Jerea Walker will be her second personal foul, her first personal foul. It will be over the foul limit, so a pair of free throws upcoming for Alea Schlechter. The Rustlers just 1 of 3 from the free throw line here in this opening period. And the first is good.
That is one stat that will drive coaches crazy at the end of a game, win or lose. When you look at the free throw numbers, if there is a huge discrepancy in makes versus misses, that can be what gives you a win or a loss.
Second free throw is up and it's offline, no good. Rebound is tipped and goes out of bounds. It will remain with Miller, but this is the second year where we went to the 5 fouls in the quarter and then it's 2 free throws. We used to have the 1-and-1 and we had it for years, and the teams that shot good free throws were able to take advantage of the 1-and-1s, and when they went to the 2-shot situations, they were trying to speed up the game, but the teams that made good free throws were still able to do damage, and they were able to work with leads and things like that. So some of the rule change helped, some of it didn't. It did speed up the game, but in the end, as we tried that second free throw, there was a lane violation, and now the Lady Buffaloes have the basketball. Miller still there defensively, tipping the basketball. It goes out of bounds.
Helter-skelter coming down the floor.
But Stanley County was able to get it across half court, and they'll inbound on their baseline with 3.1 seconds remaining. Chance to get one more shot off before the quarter comes to an end, but then Stanley County with a bad pass loses the basketball out of bounds. So Miller now will have the final opportunity with 2.3 seconds remaining.
I don't think I've seen this many change of possessions in under 5 seconds.
The inbounds will come to Schlechter, who lets it roll for a moment. Schlechter will give it up to Kolda. 3 at the buzzer is no good. And that is the end of the opening quarter. Quarter scoreboard comes to you from Darren Boyle Sales. I invite you to take advantage of great year-end deals during my annual inventory reduction event. Like the latest updates at the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page or shop online at darrenboylesales.com. 6-1, Miller leads. And we'll be back with the second quarter in 1 minute on KPLO.
Somewhere. Wind Circle, operating since 1995. We combine quality customer service and experience with the right technology to meet your needs. Our cybersecurity certified technicians will make sure your systems are secure. Services offered are video and data cabling, service and support contracts, cutting-edge camera systems to door security devices. Wind Circle has many hardware options: Dell, HP, Cisco, SonicWall, and Ruckus, to name a few. Our staff has over 30 years of combined network design and cabling experience at your disposal. Call us today, 605-224-1111, and request a free quote. Again, that's 605-224-1111.
In a world that's always moving, your journey matters. And at Iverson Auto Group, we're here to get you on the road with a great selection of new and used vehicles and trailers, and keep you on the road with top-notch service, maintenance, and support. Every mile of your journey, the experienced team at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron are here to help. Visit us in Mitchell and Huron or start your search at iversonauto.com to begin your journey today.
It is a 6-1 lead for Miller. The Rustlers had forced 7, according to my statistics, Stanley County turnovers.
Which are never wrong, folks, by the way.
Stanley County's, they're wrong, I can tell you. But Stanley County's defense has been able to keep them in this ball game, but neither team has been able to shoot the lights out with the basketball to get this second game underway for Stanley County of their season. Miller playing their season opener tonight, and they try a corner 3, and that is up and no good. Rebound Stanley County, and then is the ball knocked out, or are we going to have a foul? Well, ball knocked out of bounds by Miller. It will remain with the Lady Buffaloes.
Real quick, Darren, I feel like both teams at the break should feel a little bit better about the scoreboard. For Miller, they're missing wide open shots, point blank shots, but they're still only holding Stanley County to 1. And for Stanley County, you've got to feel like with all the turnovers and all the pressure, you're only trailing by 5.
I think that's exactly right. And I think if you're Eric Norton, head coach of Miller, I think you say, okay, we took a lot of shots that didn't make them, but them shots are going to go down.
They're going to fall.
Yep, and Stanley County, hey, our defense is going to keep us in games. And I think those are two things that both coaches are going to, that's going to be their calling card as we get deeper into the year. A 3 is taken by Stanley County. It is off the iron and out of bounds. It will belong to Miller, and it remains 6-1 as we've played a minute here in this second quarter. Kolda with the dribble brings it across half court. Wordle on the wing right side. Back out front, Kaylin Anderberg. 3 taken. That is a Kolda 3 that is short. Offensive rebound. No, they lose it out of bounds as Grayson Wordle hustled, but ball was off her fingertips and out of bounds, and it will belong to Stanley County. And again, just like that That 1-2-2 trapping pressure is applied by the Miller Rustlers. Here is Hubner, and then a reach, and a foul is going to be called on Grayson Wordle. Wordle will pick up her first personal foul.
When they do get the ball into the offensive end, to the Lady Buffs, I would love to see them try to get the ball inside down into the paint and work that size for Brecken Hubner. She's got a clear advantage, and I know Kate Lichty has played outstanding tonight for the disadvantage, but it's clear Brecken Hubner can get down low and make some plays happen. I'd love to see them force the ball to her if they can get the ball past half court.
Here's another steal, and this is a Morgan Kolda steal. She'll go to the rim and score the 2 this time. Kolda with 6 of the 8 Rustler points. She has all of their field goals, by the way. And it is an 8-1 score. And again, Stanley County turns the basketball over. That is 9 now. And Miller will turn the basketball right back. Lady Buffaloes up the floor. They lose the basketball. And Miller will settle in. You know, to your point, as Miller works it up the floor in a hurry and tries to send it back out, and then a pass through the hands of Paige Wordle and out of bounds. Miller with 5 turnovers. I have Stanley County for 10 if you're scoring at home, but it's actually going to turn out to remain with the Rustlers, or no, it will be Stanley County ball, but trying to keep track of the lineup for Miller. They have made wholesale substitutions, and it's been about every dead ball. There's been at least 2 players checking in. You look at the bench of the Rustlers, they have so much length, 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", so you really clog up passing lanes because those guys are playing defense on the perimeter.
And the same thing to your point is getting those fresh legs in there makes it more able for a team to press and be able to move around more frequently, and keeping the pressure on has been really important here for Miller.
And the other thing is, if you're willing to, if the team is willing to buy into the system, Eric Norton wants that fast pace and he wants that pressure type of play. And the kids say, hey, you're going to get your minutes, but you're going to play defense when you're out there.
Right.
They buy in, they come in, they're ready to roll, and that helps things as well. Here's a nice driving move to the basket that is up and good by Grayson Wordle. And as we talked about, starting the second quarter, shots will go down eventually for Miller, and they have. They have hit 2 buckets so far in this second quarter, and they've pushed it to 9 now. The pressure is on the offense of Stanley County, and Casey McGee will lose the basketball. Here's Morgan Kolda with a bounce pass across the lane. That shot is no good. Rebound pulled down by Stanley County. And here come the Lady Buffaloes. It is Austin Norman. Long pass up the floor to Deal. Addie loses the basketball, tries to get it back. It pinballs around. It is kept alive. Deal with the corner jumper that is no good. Backside rebound, Casey McGee, and then it's off of her chin and out of bounds.
Breakneck speed, balls bouncing all over the place. I was surprised that Deal was even able to get off a shot there.
Jolie Palmer will check in. Morgan Kolda will check out. 5:13 remains in the second quarter. It is a 10-1 lead for Miller. As we work our way to the halfway mark of quarter number 2, here is a drive by J.C. Pugh. She is bumped. A foul is called on Stanley County.
And what we're seeing when Stanley County's trying to move the ball up the floor is we're starting to see more passing again, which is leading to more turnovers. I would love to see them try to drive the ball, get some contact, and draw fouls.
Addie Deal with her first personal foul. Team's first for the Lady Buffs in this second quarter. Here is a jumper taken. It is up and no good for Miller. Rebound is pulled down by Stanley County. Journey Schnee handles as she crosses half court, and then she's bottled up, and she will be called for a travel. And after 5 turnovers committed by Stanley County in the first quarter, they're up to 12 now. That's 7. And as we work our way to the halfway mark of the second period.
It's the wrong direction. Keely Braceland does not want this game headed.
Here is Miller getting away from the defense, and on the drive, another foul, Stanley County foul. It is on Addie Deal, and Addie picks up her second, and it will be the second team foul of the quarter as well
And that's tough for Addie Deal to pick up those 2 fouls, too. She has been kind of the spark plug that has ignited the Stanley County offense when they're trying to get out of this hold that Miller has them in defensively.
Number 44 is Faith Baumberger, 5'7" sophomore. She was the one that got fouled. And as Miller works with the basketball here, Stanley County pokes it away. A big pile up underneath there along the sideline in front of the Lady Buffalo bench.
Might be a shortage of points, but no shortage of effort out there, Darren.
There definitely has been an up and down affair. And when you started breaking this game down, you knew there was going to be more possessions. And now we have a whistle and a foul called away from the ball. we are going to have some sort of illegal screen whistled against Miller. And it is going to be whistled on J.C. Pugh. That will be her first personal foul. Second team foul is also a turnover for Miller. That is their 6th of the ball game. Miller will turn over Stanley County once again. They work down low to the rim. Nice pass. Alea Schlechter inside J.C. Pugh. J.C. will score the basket, and it is now a 12-1 score as we near the halfway mark of the second quarter. McGee working against double coverage. We'll go to Briggs. Now Hubner across half court as they give it off once again into the hands of the senior Kiera Briggs. Asen McGee out front. Austin Norman, Journey Schnee on the wing right side. They give it back to McGee, who drives to the elbow, and the pull-up jumper is good. First field goal of the ball game at the 3:50 mark of the second quarter for Stanley County. It is 12-3, and now the Rustlers trying to work it up the floor, throw the basketball away. Another dead ball. More substitutions as Stanley County brings in one. That is Jerea Walker. And I believe it is Morgan Kolda and Paige Wordle checking into the ball game for Miller.
Loved that shot down here from Kason McGee on the Lady Buffs last possession. Found some space, didn't think about it, pulled up, took the shot when she had the room to do it. I think that's what Stanley County needs to do. Get those shots up quickly before Miller can get on top of you and play some good defense here.
Dip out by the Rustlers. Stanley County has to inbound again, and they throw the basketball away inside. And a shot taken by the Rustlers. Kaylin Anderberg that is up no good. Rebound lost and out of bounds. It will belong to Miller. Cameron Norman will check in. Austin Norman will check out. 3:32 remains in the half. It's a 12-3 score. The lead belongs to Miller. As the Rustlers will inbound out front. This is Schlechter to the corner. Kolda, 3-ball money. Morgan Kolda drains the three, and it is 15-3. The Rustlers enjoying their biggest lead of the first half.
That's about as smooth of a shot as you can have right there. And another steal by Kolda, but she's called for the foul.
And they're going to call the foul actually on Kiera Briggs after Kolda had picked her pocket. Briggs tried to slow Kolda down, and the hold will be her third personal foul. And it will be the third team foul for Stanley County in the second quarter.
It's been clear they're trying to get the ball to Kolda, and after seeing her take that corner three, I understand why. Here's Kolda again.
They go give and go. Kolda, though, double covered. Baseline right. They'll feed it back out front. This is Baumberger on the move. She'll go to the rim and score. Or pardon me, Kaylin Anderberg. Anderberg will score the basket, and as we expected, the offense for Miller has come to life here in the second quarter. Here's Stanley County. Quick three, Cameron Norman. It is up no good. Hubner with the offensive rebound. That putback won't go. Miller will try to come away with it, and then a foul is going to be called on Stanley County. They thought they had Schlechter trapped underneath the Lady Buffalo basket, but instead, Jerea Walker is going to be whistled for her second personal foul.
Schlechter did a beautiful job of escaping along the baseline, getting into the hip of the defender. And once you get into that hip, it kind of creates that push that the officials will see, and you get the call.
4 team fouls on Stanley County. 2:35 remains in the first half. 17-3 is our score. Rustlers leading. It is Paige Wordle with it. Wordle to the baseline. Shot is up, no good, but the rebound comes out to Schlechter. Kolda with another corner opportunity. That three is too strong and no good. Rebound Schlechter. Rustlers with another second chance opportunity. Inside it's Anderberg. Shot no good. But a foul is going to be called on Stanley County, and this time it will be on Kason McGee, who picks up her second personal foul.
I thought McGee did a nice job underneath the hoop there defensively, but a little bit too much contact for the officials' liking. But got to give McGee credit. She was in great position there.
She was in good position, but it's the reach. It's when the hand goes up and it makes contact with the shooter's arm. The body position was fine, but when you reach forward,
you got to stay vertical.
You got to stay vertical. That's exactly the point. That's why you're here, because you're a man of fewer words. I would have got there eventually.
Just wait until the boys' game comes up, Darren.
Well, there you go. Says the free throw here is up and no good. We will have the second game of our doubleheader, Stanley County and Miller's boys. We will see a Stanley County ball club that lost out in the region semifinals last year. The team with about everybody back last year. I believe they graduated Brock Zabe about the only player that graduated for Stanley County. They have got a crew back, and they are going to be fun to see. Here's Jerea Walker with the nice play out front as they hustle it up the floor to Austin Norman. Shot is no good. Rebound pulled down by Miller. Baseline jumper taken. That one is up short. Huebner with the rebound. Now it's Norman that will lead the break. The left-handed dribble up the sideline, and she'll give it up. Addie Deal inside Huebner. Brecken will deal, sends it back out to Norman around the horn, Case and McGee. Minute 40 remains in the half. 18-3 is our score as McGee will operate. Entry pass Huebner, spins to her left. Shot is off glass and no good. Rebound is loose, and the Rustlers will come away with it. Baumberger with the rebound for Miller. She'll push it up the floor in a hurry. Schlechter to the rack. Shot is no good. Huebner with the defensive rebound. Now Stanley County will lose the basketball as Miller will steal it. And the Rustlers will slow it down and set the offense back up as we work to the final minute until halftime. Here's Schlechter. Entry pass tipped and stolen. Defensive play, Jerea Walker of Stanley County. And now the Lady Buffaloes will work. The final minute of the quarter, Norman losing her balance, tried to throw a bounce pass up the floor that was stolen away. That will result in another Stanley County turnover. And here is Miller with it. About a 20-second differential shot clock to game clock as the Rustlers work here. Entry pass. This is Baumberger. Shot is no good. Rebound again kept alive by Miller. Here is Alea Schlechter with a bounce pass. Shot up by Jolie Palmer. That's no good. Stanley County will come away with it. And here come the Lady Buffaloes in a foul out front. That's probably a smart foul by Alea Schlechter, who had a foul to give there. She commits her first, but just the third team foul because Deal was one step away from being gone.
She was, and she had a look on her face of discontent for the fact that she knew she had an open look at the hoop. So a nice foul there by Miller, cutting that down. And I'm just so impressed with how technically sound Miller plays defensively. They're able to shift on the floor almost seamlessly, and it's creating a lot of problems for Stanley County.
So the Lady Buffaloes will inbound it here. Walker, Deal, tries to get to the rim, draws contact. I think she's going to get a shot out of here. That was a wild shot attempt, but I think she knew the contact was coming as DJ Rush heads to the scorer's table. The foul will be whistled on Kaylin Anderberg. That will be her second, and it will result in a pair of free throws for Addie Deal, the freshman, 1 of 4 from the free throw line. But at this point, Stanley County will take points where they come. With 21 seconds remaining in the break, they trail by 15.
It's fun to see Addie Deal, like you said, just a young freshman, kind of seeing that the game needs to be taken over. And she's the one to do it, coming in, playing with a chip on her shoulder, playing with an edge, as she did in the volleyball season. Very emotional player. But that's a benefit for Keely Braceland and her team. She needs some fire like that.
First free throw is up and short. It's no good. Here's the second free throw. That one is short as well. And on the rebound, we're going to have a lane violation on Miller. So a break for Stanley County. And again, they'll take points where they can. Deal was short on both free throw attempts that she just took. She'll step back to the line for her third free throw attempt. And that one is in and out, no good. Walker with the offensive rebound. That putback won't go. And here comes Miller as Cola will push it up the left sideline. 18-3 Miller. 12 seconds remain until halftime. Here is Jolie Palmer out front and to the top of the key. J.C. Pugh will operate back around the horn. It is Cola who will direct a little traffic. Wants a screen with 2. The step back 3 is off and no good. And that will bring us to the halftime break. Halftime scoreboard from Darren Boyle Sales. I invite you to check out the large selection of new and used farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Like the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page, shop online at DarrenBoyleSales.com. Our halftime report from Buy Right Seed is next. We're back in 3 minutes on KPLO.
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
With our new online loan application, you can go to our website and apply for a loan when it's most convenient for you. We make getting loan approval fast and easy. Our local lenders are available to assist you if you have any questions. We make it pain-free to get that loan you've been wanting. We're an equal housing lender. Oahe Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union since 1955. Federally insured by NCUA.
Do you have a new pair of jeans or a favorite shirt with a small tear or hole? Or your winter coat has a broken zipper? Don't throw them away. Call Lila Briggs Sewing and Embroidery in Fort Pierre to have your items fixed as good as new. They also provide hemming, other sewing services, as well as custom embroidery for a truly professional look and design. Lila Briggs Sewing and Embroidery is a proud supporter of all Stanley County school activities and wishes the student athletes the best of luck in the school year.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Explore the 2023 Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a re-carpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start-stop technology, you'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierce, South Dakota.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
Basketball, the girls matchup between Stanley County and Miller, and it has been all Miller doing it on the defensive end, leading by an 18-3 score as we work at the halftime break. We're joined by Justin Cowart, and Justin, you look at this first half, we talked about Stanley County facing some good defensive team in Miller. We knew Miller was going to use defense as their calling card coming into the contest, and they've been able to do that. But Stanley County with scrappy defense, contesting every shot, and I think that has been good for them. Miller has had some opportunities that normally in regular season the shots would go down. This being their first game of the season, sometimes the shots won't go, but for Stanley County, they know they've got some work to do to clean things up before the second half.
Well, it's very hard offensively when you're barely able to get the ball past half court to set up and actually run your offense, because as an offensive unit in your mind, you're halfway. All you're thinking about is don't turn the ball over, don't give it away, don't lose the handle. And you're not thinking about, let's try to run our offense. Let's try to open up some lanes. Let's try to clog up the paint, get shots outside. So Miller has done a very, very good job early on, really putting the pressure on Stanley County and getting them all out of sorts. Because, I wasn't there in person, but did get to watch a little bit of that Chamberlain game you were on the call on the other night. And these two look like two completely different teams. And to your point about Miller, it was kind of an anomaly there in the first quarter for them, taking these point-blank shots and them not going down. So we knew at some point they were going to keep getting those looks and start to hit those shots. And you got to give credit to Miss Morgan Colda. She has been unbelievable from outside, from inside, facilitating the ball, moving it around. Credit to Miller, because I thought that Brecken-Hubner mismatch size-wise down low on the offensive and the defensive side of the ball was going to prove to be a very, very big pro for the Lady Buffaloes. But Miller has done a fantastic job keeping that contained and really not letting Stanley County get into any sort of offensive rhythm.
Yeah. Miller has when they bring them off the bring players off the bench. So many of those 5'8", 5'9" players with those extra long arms that they're just taking away passing lanes, and it's been very difficult until later in the second quarter for Stanley County to really get the ball into the paint.
And you bring up a great point, because it is it is exhausting for an offense to run a full court offense. And what I mean by that is when you don't see a press, teams don't have to start running their offense until they're a couple feet inside the halfway line. This Miller defense is applying the pressure very quickly, and what we see with those substitutions, so many new legs rolling in, is they're able to keep fresh bodies, and they're wearing out that Stanley County offense. And Keeley Braceland's having to put some other players in spots that they may not be most comfortable with, because Miller is able to just keep bringing people in and keep applying that pressure and really wearing on that Stanley County bench and offense.
And another thing that really keeps teams from getting into rhythm is having to inbound the ball.
Yes.
You see it especially in the girls' game when you look at teams that have been really successful defensively. A lot of times they don't necessarily force the turnovers. Good teams won't turn the ball over. Good teams will be able to handle that pressure. But if you continue to force them to inbound, you force them to reset an inbounds play and call another inbounds play, when you're doing that, you're disrupting the offense, and that's sometimes almost as good as a turnover.
Well, that, and the other thing is Miller is just being in the right place at the right time. They're really not forcing any turnovers. They're just letting Stanley County give the ball to them by being exactly where their coach wants them to be. So to the point you just made, yes, it's not really about forcing the turnovers. It's just about being fundamentally sound and letting the ball come to you.
Quickly, let's look at individual scoring in the contest. Stanley County just one field goal so far in the first half, and that was from Casey McGee in the second quarter. She has 2 points. Addie Deal with the made free throw. The Lady Buffaloes 1 of 8 from the free throw line in the first half, and they committed 16 turnovers in the first 16 minutes of basketball. For the Miller Rustlers, we talked about Morgan Colda. She hit a 3. She had 4 field goals and scored 9 points in the first half, but a very balanced scoring attack. Kaylin Anderberg with 3. J.C. Pugh, Grayson Wordle with 2 each. Alea Schlechter with a free throw. Kate Lichty with 1 as well. The Rustlers went 3 of 7 from the free throw line, turned it over 8 times in a very fast-paced first half of basketball. 18-3 is our halftime score. Let's take another 3-minute break, and we'll be back for the third quarter on KPLO.
Opportunities for our youth are critical for student development and vital for the future of our state. And that's why Jan Bussey Ford continues to be...
Stay at Mobridge Country Inn and Guide Service, locally owned on Highway 12 and 20 West. Enjoy clean linens, plenty of amenities, and a comfortable stay with authentic country hospitality. The inn is within walking distance to most of the town's attractions. Guests can enjoy continental breakfast, barbecue grills, HD cable TV, microwaves, refrigerators, free Wi-Fi, and much more throughout the property. Book guided fishing trips through the front desk. Proud supporter of all South Dakota high school activities.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We connect people. Have been for 100 years or so. How we get that done? Well, that won't always be the same. But why we connect people? Not in a million years is that ever going to change. We didn't build the communities that made South Dakota. No. We just brought them together.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your team or reach the region and state. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Todd Sandel today and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Grossenberg's Kids Coloring Contest is this month. All kids 6 to 12 years old are eligible to win a $100 gift certificate for John Deere merchandise at Grossenberg Implement. The contest ends December 31st, with all 9 locations submitting their winners. Then, in mid-January, we will take all 18 winners and put them on our Facebook to be judged by our Facebook friends. And that winner will be eligible for the $200 grand prize gift certificate. So have some fun this month and have your children or grandchildren earn some green with Grossenberg Implements Kids Coloring Contest.
Core Cares helps
Major insurances are accepted. Good luck this season, athletes, from Access Health, Fort Pierre, assuring access to quality health care.
It's set to start the third quarter here at Parkview Gym in Fort Pierre. 18-3 is our score. The Miller Rustlers have the lead. Stanley County will have the basketball as we start the second half. Norman, Kiara Briggs, Kason McGee, Jerea Walker, Reckon Hubner will start the second half for Stanley County. Looks like the starting 5 for the Rustlers will start the second half as well. Morgan Colda, Jolie Palmer, Paige Wordle, Kate Lickney, and Aaliyah Schlechter. 18-3 as the Lady Buffaloes trail by 15. Entry pass, Reckon Hubner, whistle and a foul. And a foul is going to be called on Kate Lickney, and that will be her first. You talked about, Justin, in the first half of this ball game, Stanley County needing to try to get the ball inside to Hubner, and They definitely tried it that time. They had a clean look to the inside, but the hold will force Stanley County to inbound again.
Well, I think it's important that you just try to start from scratch. Don't look at the scoreboard, realize you're down 15 points. Try to get your offense going in a rhythm. You hit a couple shots. Next thing you know, you can look up at the scoreboard. You're back in this thing.
Stanley County will turn the basketball over. That is their 17th turnover of the ball game as the Rustlers will work. Here's an elbow jumper up and good by Kate Lickney. Her first field goal. And the lead extends for the Rustlers. It is now 20-3 as they put out a good trap on the lane or on the sideline after the inbound pass comes in.
And they call that the coffin corner. That's the last place as a offensive player you want to get with 2 defensive players surrounding you.
Stanley County turns it over. Oh, they do everything they need to do except get it across half court. Nice pass to Hubner. They go to Walker. Walker advances the basketball across half court, but it's over the head of Kason McGee and out of bounds, and that is back-to-back turnovers for Stanley County. And Miller with another offensive opportunity. Early in quarter number 3, the Rustlers, their season opener, and their defense is looking good as the Rustlers work inside it as Lickney. Now Leah Schlechter off the Lickney screen will drive and kick. Colda covered up quickly by Kason McGee. She'll drive and kick. It's Jolie Palmer to the rim, and that shot is up good. And the shots that did not go down in the first half for Miller have went down early in this third quarter. And now they force another turnover. But Stanley County, continuing to battle, will force a tie-up. And the possession arrow will still point to Miller. So it will, again, result in a turnover for Stanley County. And Miller with another offensive chance here. Already they have scored 4 in the quarter and have pushed the lead to 19.
And they've come out with a very impressive energy that Stanley County's maybe lacking a little bit here to start the second half.
Schlechter on the left side of the lane as they go down low. Nice spin move in traffic, but Reckon Hubner was there with the defensive play, blocking the Kate Lickney spin move as it is knocked out of bounds. It'll force the Rustlers to inbound it. It will be Colda, baseline left, as she'll inbound with 26 to shoot, and 6:38 remaining in quarter number 3. Inbounds will come to Lickney. Bounce past Schlechter, and it's out of her reach and out of bounds. And for Miller, that is turnover number 9.
Looks like Schlechter was looking for a chest pass there, and she got the bounce pass and got handcuffed a little bit.
That was kind of a knuckleball that kind of came her way as well. As Miller will set with full court man pressure. Morgan Colda will force the turnover and then stepped out of bounds. Thought she got the steal cleanly, but was clearly out of bounds as she headed up the sideline. Another, near turnover for Stanley County, but they will keep possession and inbounded in front of their own bench. Rustlers in that possession backed off the trap and have played straight up full court man, and now Stanley County will settle into the contest. Mallory Nolan, sophomore for the Lady Buffaloes. It is Jerea Walker with the move. She is held, and that's Aaliyah Schlechter. Aaliyah picks up her second personal foul.
And it was good.
Actually, it's her third personal foul, pardon me.
It was good to see Walker there trying to push it inside, and she got the call, got the whistle, and added another foul there for Miller.
Kind of an inadvertent whistle as, again, the Rustlers had somebody at the scorer's table. Grayson Wordle will check in, even though the ball was in play, but I think that time the official was a little quick to put the ball back in play as Wordle was definitely at the scorer's table. Now Stanley County will get it inside. They go to Hubner, but she gives it up to Kason McGee. The elbow jumper is short. Rebound pulled down by Miller. The Rustlers will push it across half court. We played 2 minutes of this third quarter. 22-3 is our score. Here is Wordle trying to work inside. Ball is knocked free. Colda winds up with it. Jolie Palmer in the corner. Down low, it's Colda. Has to give it up as she's in traffic. She'll swing the basketball back out front. 9 on the shot clock for the Rustlers. As they'll feed inside to the high post, and Kate Lichty is fouled. The personal will be whistled on Brecken Hubner, and that will be it's on number 4. That's Austin Norman. That will be her second personal foul.
And Miller moves the ball offensively so quickly. The ball does not stay in one player's hands for more than a split second. Very impressive to see them move the ball around the outside and then find an open shooter, but we do get a whistle here.
Pass out on the inbound. Working with it is Paige Wordle, and Wordle's going to be called for travel. She was waiting for that offensive play to kind of get underway.
She knows how fast that offensive unit works, and she was just finding her teammates a little bit behind the pace there.
A little bit of nervous energy there, and she just picked up a pivot foot is what she did. It's 10 turnovers now for Miller, but they are in control of this ball game with a 22-3 score. 5:20 remains in the quarter. Just one field goal so far for the Lady Buffaloes as Miller pokes it out of bounds once again. Stanley County, who was able to shoot the ball confidently and took a lot of good shots in that win over Chamberlain on Tuesday night. Those shots have all been contested this evening. And Stanley County trying to find their way. Here's Hubner, who draws double coverage. Tries to bounce past it to Journey Schnee, but she can't hang on to it.
And to your point about how each shot has been contested, Miller is just locking on to these Stanley County Lady Buffs offensive players, not allowing a single open shot. And it's kind of creating some hesitancy from Stanley County.
I think you're exactly right. As Miller works quickly up the floor, a Journey Palmer jumper from the wing is no good. Rebound Stanley County. Up the floor, Kiara Briggs. Driving again to where she meets double coverage and then loses the basketball as it goes out of bounds. It will be last touched by the Lady Buffaloes. Kiara Briggs will check out as Addie Deal will check back into the ballgame.
And anytime a Lady Buff gets along that sideline, the Rustlers defense smells blood in the water, and they get over to it and they trap, and it's worked all night long.
22-3. Rustlers leading. Looking for their first victory of the season as they play their opening match here tonight. As the inside it comes. Shot taken by J.C. Pugh is no good. Rebound Stanley County, and then Miller does a good job of getting in there and forcing the tie-up as Madeline Saenga reaches in for the held ball.
And the Rustlers don't stand around. They just don't let things happen. They make things happen, and that's what's so great to see. The ball got corralled by Stanley County, and they were quickly on it to force a jump ball.
Rustlers wind up with... Stanley County winds up with it on the alternating possession. Rustlers will set up full court pressure. They'll force a turnover, and then they give the basketball up as it winds up being in the hands of Stanley County. And now Addie Deal up the floor in a hurry and contact along the sideline. And it will be Jolie Palmer who will wind up with the foul. Well, she was just a heartbeat late as far as trying to get the block in. And that foul is her first. It's the third foul for Miller in the quarter. As again, Stanley County turns the basketball over. And the Rustlers will work with it into their front court. Halfway through the third quarter, 22-3 is our score. And now the Rustlers will turn the basketball over. Faith Baumberger with the turnover. And that is number 12 of the night for Miller. Again, the inbounds comes in. Hubner, McGee, Kaysen with the dribble. Pass up the floor, Austin Norman. Now Journey Schnee. Schnee double covered. She has the ball taken out of her hands by J.C. Pugh. And now Miller will work the basketball the other way.
No wasted energy from the Rustlers. They're just on top of every single ball, like white on rice. Great feed and a great finish there by Sayenga.
Madeline Sayenga with her first basket of the night. And that was a nice feed, as you said, from up top. And now the Rustlers will force another turnover inside Jolie Palmer. Shot block. Good play by Addie Deal. Miller will keep possession, though, as another turnover is committed by Stanley County, and that is 25 on the night. And here is a three from up top by the Rustlers. That is up and no good.
And I think Kason McGee got a hand on that really nice contest there to stop a really good three-point shooting team, too.
And we are going to have a timeout taken by Stanley County. 3:08 remains in the third quarter. It is Miller 24 and Stanley County 3. This will be a full timeout taken. Let's break for 60 seconds on KPLO.
Stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. Core Cares, proudly serving our community.
Service Master of Pier is your go-to service experts for a wide variety of cleaning needs. Since 2003, we have developed the most effective methods and products to service virtually every type of industry. We're known for our exceptional carpet and upholstery cleaning, but did you know we also offer cleaning of all types of flooring, along with providing fire and water restoration, commercial cleaning, janitorial services, and construction cleanup. Service Master of Pier is a proud sponsor of TF Riggs Governors and Lady Guffs, as well as Stanley County Buffaloes and Lady Buffs activities.
Timeouts are brought to you by Agtegra. Acres Ahead maximizes your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact your local Agtegra cooperative today. 3:08 remains in the third quarter. 24-3 is our score. Miller Rustlers leading as Stanley County out of the timeout. They have 3 timeouts remaining. Again, work against that full court pressure. They're close to a 10-point or 10-second count. Keely Braceland has to burn another timeout. That is a 30-second break taken there by the Lady Buffaloes.
And Keely Braceland was none too pleased to take that timeout, ripped the whiteboard out of her assistant's hands, and I think they had set something up to try to get the ball and get that offense moving at the break, and Stanley County just wasn't able to make it happen. Keely Braceland said, you know what, we're just going to draw it up again and try it again after this timeout.
Well, you try to attempt, and we talked about it in the first half, when you try to break that 1-2-2 pressure, you've got to get the ball to the center of the floor near half court because they're trying to trap on the outside, and they tried to get there twice, and both times the ball wound up on the wings, and traps were there. And then they eventually just, they were about to get it across half court, but it just took way too much time. Now, Miller, they'll back off of the full court pressure, and Stanley County will cross half court. Their man-to-man in the half court has been pretty good as well for Miller throughout the ball game here so far.
Near carry there from Addie Deal, but a good job dribbling that through the contact, and a nice steal here again from the Rustlers. More active defense.
24-3. The lead belongs to the Rustlers. Working our way to the 2.5-minute mark left in the third quarter. Rustlers will pick up their first victory of the season. As we talked about in the pregame, this is going to be a busy week ahead for both teams. Cheyenne Eagle Butte up next for the Rustlers, who turned the basketball over here. Kaylin Anderberg travel is the 13th turnover for Miller here tonight.
And if this Miller team can play like this throughout the season, then this is going to be a team to look out for come postseason.
You know, you look at Region 6A, and I still believe eventually Stanley County is going to be, considered part of that mix, but they have found some things that they're going to have to work on and clean up. But I think you look at Miller, you look at Mobridge Pollock, Cheyenne Eagle Butte, I think will be, fairly solid as well. But, these are teams that you think are going to be in the top half of that region bracket. And so you want to see those teams early. It's good for both of these teams to see who they are seeing. Of course, we'll have Miller Chamberlain down the line as well. Chamberlain, a team that I think, will definitely improve from where they were Tuesday night. So it'll be it's a fun part of the season for me because you watch these teams where they are in December and you look to see where they are in January and especially February when a postseason run is made.
Some other scores real quick. Del Rapids up over Madison 43-14. Trip Delmont Armour up over Scotland Menno 26-13. You mentioned Mobert Pollock. They're in action tonight. We'll keep you updated on that score.
Stanley County with a turnover when they had it in the front court. Miller will work here. They're having problems. Good D from the part of the Lady Buffaloes. And Jerea Walker will tie up Kaylin Anderberg. The possession arrow will point towards the Lady Buffaloes. So that is a turnover for Miller. That's 14 for them. Stanley County with 27 on the night if you're scoring at home.
And I think what Keely Braceland at this point in the ball game, minute 40 left in the third quarter, you're trailing by 21. She's looking for her character out of her team now. It's not about X's and O's so much. She wants to know, can this team fight? Can this team play far from behind and show a little pride here in the late minutes of this ball game?
McGee with it. She is trapped in a tough spot, but a foul is going to be called on the Rustlers. Foul is going to be whistled on Paige Wordle. That will be her second. And that will be team foul number 5 against Miller. And that's just going to be something, if you're Miller, that you play defense like this, the fouls are going to add up. But if you continue to play 9-10 players, as they have here tonight, you can kind of spread them out a little bit. Really, nobody in foul trouble on the part of Miller, but they will give up free throws. And this is a stat we'll bring up in a minute. A pair of them coming here for Case and McGee.
Reminds me of my high school basketball coach. I didn't play in high school, but he did try to recruit me. He said, you can give us 5-6 good fouls a game.
Graduate of the Euchre School of Broadcasting, Mr. Justin Coward.
Once I learned that would be my only role, I sat the basketball season out.
But Stanley County got to the free throw line in the first half. They were just 1 of 8. Think if you were 6 of 8. Let's look at it if it was an 18-9 game at halftime.
With his
complete
low,
different.
It is a pretty big separation in score, but when you talk about a low-scoring game like this, only a couple made baskets flip this thing on its head in an instant.
Another free throw is up and no good, and for Stanley County.
And that will be something, as you mentioned, that Keely Braceland will address with this team as the charity stripe.
Free throws are free. As Miller works into the front court, a whistle and a foul out front is going to be called on Stanley County. And the personal here, which will be team foul number 2 of the quarter, will be on Jerea Walker. Walker picks up her second personal foul.
And another point to that, too, Darren, is you talk about some of those made free throws. Miller starts probably playing a little bit different with a much closer game. Maybe they start playing a little bit tighter, and we start seeing their turnover numbers a little bit higher.
Well, you make a team pay by making free throws. And if the team's making free throws and putting points on the board, even though you're still trapping and you're still trying to play defense, well, it kind of defeats the purpose of that a little bit.
It never hurts to make your free throws is the lesson here, kids.
Ball pinballs around, and it will wind up with Stanley County. That'll be a Miller turnover as the Rustlers here will again force a Stanley County turnover, but we're going to have a foul called on Morgan Cola this time, I believe. We'll head the other way for more Stanley County free throws.
And I almost feel like I'm watching football season all over again because some of these Rustlers defenders are playing like free safeties. They're watching for the next pass, and they're getting to the open offensive player, and they're just reading these scripts perfectly.
Brecken Hubner at the free throw line to shoot 2. 24-4 Miller leading with 1:04 remaining in the third quarter. First free throw is up, and it is no good. J.C. Pugh will check in. Faith Baumberger will check out. And one thing you see from Miller as you go back is you see these kids running in and out. Of course, substitution is a big part of volleyball. And of course, they've had the success of the volleyball court that they've had over the last few years. But it's almost like a, side out. Yes. And they just kind of roll in and roll out. And they just kind of expect it, and the kids just bounce up and bounce back in, knowing their roles. And that's good to see and a good rhythm to be in this early in the season. Off of the Stanley County missed free throw. Again, another missed free throw. The Rustlers will work inside, and here is Madeline Saenga with the sky hook in the lane. Shot is up good, and it is 26-4.
A little bit of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar action with the right hand from Saenga there, and another steal from Miller.
Another turnover on Stanley County as Saenga will work. They'll reverse the basketball. Open look for three, and it's money. Kate Lichty drops the 3-ball home, and all of a sudden it's 29-4 with 20 seconds remaining in the third. Pass up the floor, tipped ball. This is Deal to the rim. Layup good. First field goal of the second half for Stanley County as time runs down in quarter number 3. 29-6. 3, 2, and Colda loses it out of bounds. It will remain with the Rustlers, though. And Stanley County tipped it out of bounds.
They've been good all night. We'll see how good they are with 0.7 seconds left.
They'll try to run Colda off a screen. She'll bounce. Works here. No, she'll go to the corner instead. 3 ball. No good.
She got it off.
That is the end of quarter number 3. Scoreboard comes to you from Darren Boyle Sales. I invite you to check out the large selection of new and used farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Great year-end deals during our annual inventory reduction event. Like the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page and check out DarrenBoyleSales.com. 29-6 Miller. We go to the 4th in 1 minute on KPLO.
Miller Rexall.
That moment when you realize your furnace is stone cold busted. We're talking a real put on every sweater you own, I can't feel my feet, penguin predicament. But fear not, there's an expert for that.
Let your local heating experts at Pites Service Experts keep you warm with $50 off any furnace repair.
Like it toasty? There's an expert for that.
Call Pites Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
Now's your chance for a great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Here's Miller, high post, Alea Schlechter down the lane. She'll put it up and in. Alea Schlechter's first field goal. And it is now 31-6. As again, Stanley County working against Miller's full court pressure.
And for those folks listening at home, the Miller Rustler defenders don't even get 3 or 4 feet past the 3-point line on defense. They are pressing and pressing hard, despite being up 31-6 and another tie up here.
Turnover Stanley County. That is their 28th of the night. They're going to call a jump ball on the alternating possession, I believe, or we have something else going on. It will be Stanley County basketball after the tie-up. What has happened is they did not reset the possession arrow at the scorer's table. So they got that squared away. And off we go. Stanley County inbounding it. McGee working against pressure with the dribble. Gets away with a double, but Stanley County will still keep possession, and a 10-second count is whistled on the Lady Buffaloes.
Well, when they
had a player wide open. We talked about length of the defense of Miller. There was a player wide open down the court, but you couldn't get a pass off because of the length of that Miller defense.
Well, the other issue, too, is you're getting the ball in here to the near side corner for Austin Norman, almost giving her no way out.
So Stanley County with another turnover. Rustlers with it. Down low, Schlechter, and she's bodied up. And she don't get free throws as she is fouled.
Really nice move there by Schlechter, getting Hubner off her feet and then moving into the body to draw the contact. That's a veteran IQ move right there.
Brecken with her second personal foul. First foul of the quarter for Stanley County. As Alea Schlechter shoots 2. Her first is no good. That is the first free throw attempt of the second half for the Rustlers, who were 3 of 7 from the line in the first 2 quarters of our ball game.
And something Braceland can hang her hat on if there's anything here tonight. The defense has played much, much better here in the second half.
Schlechter makes the second free throw, but went over the line doing so. So it will belong to Stanley County. 31-6 is our score. And Stanley County again will work against pressure. Deal will bring it across half court. Entry pass Hubner. A whistle and a foul as Hubner drew double coverage. Foul committed. Is it on 40 or 44? It's on 40, and that's Kaylin Anderberg's 4th personal foul. First foul of the quarter for the Rustlers.
And Miller not letting Huebner beat them down low. They're going to bring that double team pressure for the rest of the game, I assume, knowing that height can beat them.
Here's Cameron Norman again. They'll go down low to Huebner, and she'll again face double coverage. Shot is up, no good. She'll get her own rebound, goes strong. Shot there won't go. Jerea Walker with another offensive rebound. Ball pinballs around. It's off Norman's ankle and out of bounds. Stanley County still continuing to battle, but things not bouncing their way as it goes out of bounds. And it will be Miller's basketball. 6:45 remains in this one. The Rustlers, who led 6-1 at the end of the opening quarter, now lead by a 31-6 score. And they are in control of the ball game as we go down the home stretch. Here is Anderberg in the lane. Contact as players hit the deck. The ball will go out of bounds.
And a nice block there by Huebner.
Addie Deal, let's see. Checking in Kiara Briggs. Also checking into the contest for Stanley County, Journey Schnee. Stanley County will inbound it underneath their own basket again. They go to the wing to Walker and now Huebner. She had it knocked away, but Huebner steals it back. Now Stanley County with a long outlet pass will get themselves across half court. Miller does a good job of overplaying passing lanes, though. As Stanley County tries to get their offense organized, the ball gets tipped again by the Rustlers and out of bounds. Stanley County, although they did reset the shot clock, will get set to inbound it here as it comes into Cameron Norman. Norman trying to work the dribble. Ball is picked away. It's loose, and Stanley County will have to burn another timeout to save a possession here. This will be a full timeout with 6:07 remaining in the fourth quarter. It is 31-6 Miller. We'll pause for 60 seconds on KPLO.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Ready for the second game of our doubleheader. We have our big play of the game. We have our player of the game. Those will be announced during our post-game report. Foul on Miller, the Rustlers, with the personal on Grayson Wordle. That will be her third personal foul, and it will be the third team foul for Miller. 31-6 is our score as Miller leads Stanley County. Lady Buffaloes in a lot of trouble here to going to 1-1 on the season. Jerea Walker on the block has to give it up. The kick to Journey Schnee. The corner three is up, no good. And then a foul on Stanley County on the rebound. Brecken Huebner picks up her fourth personal foul.
Can't blame her. Just trying to go up, get the board. And I do want to tip my cap. They're still playing hard despite being down. And just trying to find something here.
I think that's something you want to see when you have a situation as the way this game has went down. The way this, after you get the victory and you're excited, a Miller miss and a foul on the Rustlers. Kaylin Anderberg will foul out of the ball game here as she picks up her fifth personal foul. Huebner with just 3 personals, by the way, as that was on the scorebook. And now look at the fresh 5 at the scorer's table for Miller.
And you were talking about their ability to substitute, and we have got the full Monty here.
It's like a line change.
It really is, yes. Speaking of which, we got some Caps hockey coming up here this season.
Fourth turnover, or fourth team foul. Miller will be over the limit. Stanley County will be in the bonus the rest of the way. As Stanley County will work with it on the perimeter. But if you're a coach, I think win or lose, you want to see how your team responds in the second game. And second game of the season, and again in the third, and that's what we'll see. We'll see how things are for Stanley County. Got to have a short memory because you're playing Saturday afternoon against White River.
And not to kick a Buffalo while it's down, but Miller has just simply outplayed Stanley County tonight. They've been more fundamentally sound, and they've played with a lot more. It just seems like persistence and cause here tonight. Big three, though, hit, and a nice shot there from Norman.
Looking for just things to build confidence on. It's a 3-ball from Cameron Norman, the senior, from up top. Drops it home to make it 31-9. We're inside of 5 minutes remaining in the ballgame.
And just to bounce back earlier in the second half, that's something that Keeley Braceland can say. If we get that 3 earlier in this game, it might turn things around for us.
Well, we'll look at the scores. It was 6-1 at the end of the opening quarter. It was 18-3 at halftime. Anytime in those situations, you would have hit back-to-back threes. It would have changed the complexion of this game a lot.
Well, that's what you and I talked about at halftime, is just how the perception of a game can simply change on just a few possessions. And it was close in the first quarter, but it was a couple possessions in the second quarter for Miller that changed the game for them.
Entry pass inside Brecken Hubner. Battle for it as it was tipped away, and the ball goes out of bounds. It is off Stanley County, though, so it'll wind up with Miller. 31-9 is our score. Here's Morgan Colta, the kick out to Sayanga. The 3-ball is good. Madeline Sayanga from downtown. And it is 31-9 halfway home in quarter number 4.
And Sayanga's fun to watch, too. She is just smooth with it, and another nice steal and a beautiful feed there for Jolie Palmer.
Grayson Wordle with the steal, Jolie Palmer with the 2, and it's 36-9. And if there was any doubt that the momentum belonged to Miller, well, that's the exclamation point right there. And as Stanley County works inside, Miller will turn it over once again. Or, pardon me, force a turnover. As Stanley County turns it over for the 32nd time tonight. In control of the contest, they'll run the offense. They'll run a solid half-court set, as here, Madeline Sayanga, who is operating off the high post, is going to be called for a travel. And for the Rustlers, that is their 17th turnover of the contest.
The difference has been Miller has been able to capitalize on those turnovers. Stanley County has not.
I think that has been a very key stat all along as Stanley County breaks pressure as they bring it across half court. Schnee, Briggs, entry pass Hubner. Kick out, open look for Jerea Walker, and the 3 is good. Jerea Walker from downtown. 36-12. And a 6-point quarter so far for Stanley County has by and far been their highest offensive output in any quarter tonight.
They're just playing looser, it seems.
Sayanga inside. She is triple teamed, and thought she was going to, well, we're going to see what happens. They're going to call a foul. It's going to be on Stanley County, and Cameron Norman will pick up her first foul.
If Stanley County could just capture these last couple minutes of this fourth quarter and play more open and loose like that, then they're going to find themselves much more success than they're finding tonight. Oh, beautiful.
Nice pass inside. That time Sayanga went the direction where just away from the offense. Misdirection, if you will, and she scores another 2. Madeline Sayanga with 10 points in the second half. It is 38-12. And here is Miller forcing another Stanley County turnover. And the Rustlers are worked down low. Sayanga again inside. The turnaround is no good. Rebound pulled down by Stanley County. Norman across half court. Bounce pass up the floor off the shin of Kiera Briggs. She goes down hard after she is piled up. And now the Rustlers will come away with it once again. A 38-12 score down low. This is Palmer. Shot is blocked. Stanley County with it. Journey Schnee in traffic. And they say Journey travel. And again, a line change out front. Stanley County, they'll go to their bench, and we'll see Aspen Lenz, Danity Kanukin, Mallory Nolan in the contest as well, I believe, as we are going to have a timeout taken. This is a Miller timeout, a 30-second timeout with 2:05 remaining. 38-12 Rustlers. We're back in 30 seconds on KPLO.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the part you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
2 minutes remain here in the fourth quarter. It is 38-12 as Miller works with the basketball. We're going to have a whistle. We're going to have a foul called away from the ball. And the NBA terms a loose ball foul here that is going to be whistled against the Rustlers. That will get them over the 5-team limit in the quarter as Faith Baumberger picks up her first foul. Stanley County will get another chance at the free throw line, but on an offensive situation like this, do you shoot free throws? And that's where the conversation is right now. We're heading the other way.
A good job by the officials getting together there, sorting it all out.
It's early in the season for them, and you look at this crew of Dave Burnett, Jim Fugate, DJ Rush. They've been here and done that. They're some of Central South Dakota's best, and that's what the best do. They get together, they converse, they get it right. And free throws here for Addie Deal, as she will get 2 free throws with 1:57 remaining. The first is up short. Addie just 1 of 9 from the free throw line in this ball game. She has scored 3 points. And she'll get ready with the second free throw attempt.
And I think I know the first drill that the Lady Buffs will have in their next practice.
And that one is up and no good. She'll try to get her own rebound. Then there's going to be a foul called. Or they got to call a lane violation. They're going to call a lane violation on Miller. They're going to say Syanga got in early.
Pretty unusual amount of those tonight, Darren.
There really is. And Addie Deal will get one more free throw opportunity. And it is up, and it is short.
Second time tonight, Deal's been given another free opportunity.
And you look at the free throw, when you start coaching shooting, and goodness knows I shouldn't, but when you're short consistently, you know how you solve that. Just a little more as Stanley County gets the rebound off the missed free throw attempt. They lose the basketball out of bounds once again. 1:42 remains, 38-12. In the boys matchup between Miller and Stanley County, we expect it to be an up and down affair. That will be coming up next. Justin Cowart will have the call of that one. It should be a fun one here.
I've been saving my voice, knowing how many possessions we're going to have in this next game.
We will be up and down, that's for sure. Here's Stanley County. It's Deal on the right side, cut off on the baseline as she'll feed back out front. Now a whistle and a traveling violation on Danity Kaikuan.
And props to the Stanley County cheerleaders. They're outnumbered by almost 3-1, but they're making all the noise here tonight. And I know this fan base here inside of Parkview Auditorium is ready to explode. Haven't really been able to get into a rhythm here tonight with their Lady Buffs.
Miller working with the basketball on the inside, and we're on the wing, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on Addie Deal. That will be her third.
And sometimes for teams, you need a loss like this to really reevaluate things and assess what your team is as a whole.
Well, yeah, it's definitely way too early in the season to, have an identity.
You get a little high and mighty, maybe feeling too confident after a season opening win. Not saying that's what happened with Stanley County. I don't want to take anything away from what Miller's done tonight, but this is a good time for Stanley County to step back, reevaluate things, and get ready for a long season ahead.
If you're Miller, you know, I think what Eric Norton knows what kind of personnel he has here and what type of defense they can play. Will they be able to force the turnovers that they have tonight after Miller forces another turnover and Grayson Wordle goes up the floor and scores? Are you going to be able to force those types of turnovers against, teams that handle the ball better? Are you going to be able to do that? And if you can, will that allow you to will you be able to do that? Will you be able to be scoring points consistently? And I think that for Miller is what they're going to want to work on getting ready for their game on Saturday up at Cheyenne Eagle Butte.
It's going to be a lot to ask for a team like the Rustlers to do what they did tonight in game out, but it has been a very impressive outing from Miller tonight, and I have kind of just been blown away by what they were able to do on the defensive side of the basketball here tonight.
42-12 is our final. The Miller Rustlers are victorious. Our scoreboard from Darren Boyle Sales. I invite you to check out the large selection of new and used farm equipment. A lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Let's take a 2-minute timeout in return. We'll do a quick post game. That's next on KPLM.
The region's full-service Bobcat dealer, Riverview Bobcat in Owatonna, is offering blowout prices on T86 compact track loaders plus rebates up to $5,000.